Monday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, the kind of co-game of the week here outside of the Bills and the Bucks. Right now, the Cardinals, as we record this, the Cardinals are 2 or 2.5 point home favorites over the Rams. 51.5 is your total. The Rams are taking money, guys. This opened at 3, gets down to 2.5. Now it's at 2 at several of the books out there. The Rams continue to take a bunch of money in this one. I think we are in a case here, and we shall see. We'll see if we're all in agreement here. I think we're in a case where people just don't want to believe in this Arizona Cardinals team, want to continue to grasp at their preseason priors so heavily on this Los Angeles Rams team, which isn't, by the way, the same team that it was when you made your priors, because Robert Woods is a huge factor and is a huge part of that offense. And it is not a plug and play with Odell Beckham in this offense for what Robert Woods did for this team. And so you look here, for me, we saw last week, this was what I did last week. And the reason I didn't play that game outside of a teaser with the Cardinals last week is because I wanted to see, are we getting the Kyler Murray experience? Did we get the full Kyler Murray experience? And he was scrambling around. He was creating time. He was running. He was not afraid. If he needed to go pick up 3 or 4 yards, he went and picked up 3 or 4 yards with his feet. We got the full Kyler Murray experience, which is what I wanted before I really came in and started backing this team. Brad, I took the 2 with the Cardinals in a prove me wrong spot with this Rams team. Prove me wrong, Rams, that if you can go out and you can compete with the big boys instead of beating up on the teams that you should beat up on and then losing to these teams with a pulse, then by all means. But I think it's about high time that we take this Cardinals team seriously.
Yeah, 100%. I said it last week. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL as well. Proper Super Bowl contender. I think if you're looking at season-long statistics, or you're trying to model this game, I think you probably come out on the Rams side. Mm-hmm. You probably lean that way, but I think that's kind of wrong. So let's look at when Murray's in there, he's the best quarterback in the NFL mm-hmm. by EPA, and he's progressed this year where he is reading defenses like. He's going through progressions, and then if it's not there, then he's got this insane Sonic the Hedgehog stuff as well. And it's quite rare you see like the true dual threat quarterback. And, it's like the Cam Newton offense of 2015 where it's almost unstoppable because you just have the extra man. And if you have good receivers and you can do everything, it's just very hard to stop. And then this Cardinals defense, best in the NFC by DVOA, best in the NFL by EPA per dropback allowed on defense. So, to me, they're kind of better than the Rams on offense and defense. Just quickly on the Rams, one, obviously they smashed the Jaguars last week. Whoop-de-doo, right. Have a lollipop. But before that, they lost three in a row to good teams. Lost by 14 to the Titans or 12 to the Titans. Lost by 21 to the Rams. Lost by 12 to the Packers. That's the caliber of team that the Cardinals are. Throughout his career, Stafford has kind of choked in the big games essentially, or he's not won the big games. He's still banged up. He's going to be getting blitzes at him all over the place. He doesn't have Robert Woods. The interior of the offensive line was a huge problem, particularly against the Titans. 2 of them are banged up. I think the center and one of the guards is banged up this week. They might not play. So, banged up Stafford's going to have all sorts of pressure in his face. I just think the line is wrong, essentially. Yeah.
And listen, again, not in the do running backs matter argument and all that stuff, Steven. I mean, again, these teams will kind of tip their hand earlier in the week. Mekhi Sargent got promoted from the practice squad for the Rams. Of course, we saw Darrell Henderson didn't play last week, even though he was suited up. He didn't play. That probably doesn't bode well for him playing this week as well. So it would be like the Sony Michel show. Let's not forget that Darrell Henderson wasn't even supposed to be the starting running back for this team to begin with this year. And so we're now kind of, again, we keep talking about this, like now it's a pecking order thing. So starter down, backup down. Now we're down to Sony Michel. If anything were to happen to him, now we have Mekhi Sargent, who's going to be out there as far as that goes. So just some other things to consider here as you start handicapping this game. And again, it's just not a 1-for-1 trade-off with Odell and Robert Woods. And I understand Robert Woods was never mentioned in the same breath as Odell Beckham when, in both of their prime, but Robert Woods played a pretty vital role for this Rams team. And Matthew Stafford was while he wasn't peppering him with targets, he was peppering him with important targets. And those are gone now. And so I don't know, man, this Rams team to me, and like I got tons of futures on them. I hope they get it right. I hope they figure things out, but I don't think this is the game for it.
First of all, Brad comparing Kyler Murray to Sonic Hedgehog is like the best fucking thing I've heard all year. Like, you know how you used to turn on the old Sega Genesis and it would go Sega. Like every time Kyler does something good now, I'm just going to be thinking in my head, Kyler. So that awesome. I love that. Let's answer the question though of why the Rams are taking money this week, right? Brad mentioned season long metrics. If you look at closing lines as well, you can't be better for the Cardinals than maybe even for these two teams. I think most respectable power ratings actually have the Rams slightly ahead based on closing lines. So that's important because the NFL is the most efficient market in sports betting. And secondly, if you do take a closer look at the Rams' recent 3-game losing streak before they just beat the Jags, in those 3 losses, they were basically even or they won the yards per play battle in all 3 of those losses. They had crippling turnovers that decided that game. So potentially some positive regression here if Matthew Stafford could stop throwing the ball like an idiot and his receivers can stop dropping balls that lead to interceptions. So potentially some positive regression there. I do think that we do see more Sony Michel. I think Sean McVay wants a running back that he can hand it to 20 times per game. And I don't think Darrell Henderson is that guy. And the Rams running game, 4th in adjusted line yards, 5th in run block win rate, top 3 in early down EPA and success rate. Arizona 31st by PFF grade in rush D, 29th in run stop win rate. So they don't have to rely necessarily on Matthew Stafford to keep this game close as long as he doesn't have another crippling turnover. And you guys know I love Arizona. Like I've been preaching about them all season long. They've been awesome. I just think it's more of a coin flip game based on these factors. I would only bet Arizona minus 2.5 or better if forced to take a side in this game. But I think the value for me is more on the Rams plus 8.5 teaser leg here. And that's the angle I opted for as opposed to trying to take a side on the spread. But I'm with you guys. I love Arizona for the rest of the season, even if they potentially don't win this game.
Yeah, this game's going to be fascinating. I'm so glad it's an island game. I'm so glad it's a game that we'll be able to just focus in on and really see what these two teams are made out of. It's a little early in the week still for us with this being a Monday night game. So injury reports still haven't really come through and we hadn't really figured out how that's going to be. So again, if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll have a standalone video for the Monday Night Football game. So be sure and come and check that out as well. Guys, I can't believe it's week 14 in the NFL. Really felt like this is just flying by here. But look, we're making some money here. We had a couple of rough weeks there back to back, but we bounced back pretty well here. And for the majority of the year, I think we've been doing pretty good and calling these games. So hopefully we continue here in week 14 as well. If you want to follow Steven on the Twitter machine at StevenAnders1, you want to follow Brad at Brad Allen NFL, you want to follow me at Matt Brown M2. And of course, subscribe to everything that we do, whether it be the podcast, whether it be the YouTube channel, do all that. Go ahead, subscribe, rate, review, leave us comments, all the different things like that. We do appreciate you guys supporting all of the content. For Steven, for Brad, I'm Matt. Good luck in week 14.